that you saw was in a bad relationship with with a man, and he's just whooping her. He don't treat her right, but she cooks the best food. He curses her out, but she makes sure she looks pretty. He talks about crap. You want to step in and like help this woman, right? You want to be the hero, and you even give advice. You need to leave him. You need to leave him. But eventually, what you see is if this woman even after she states he's not a good man, we have 400 years of bad history, that she still hold on to this abusive relationship. And even when you come to rescue, she clings back. You lose respect for that woman. Because you realize a woman doesn't have respect for herself. She doesn't value herself. She doesn't value herself enough to say, I need to exit the relationship. I need to get away from this man. It is a fear, but it's a fear and dependency. Like she's scared of this man, but she needs this man because she's grossly insecure in herself. And I feel, without offending anyone, in my opinion, that's the danger that I think African Americans has put themselves in. If you look historically, everybody knows that African Americans fought at most all of the major wars. The African Americans are disrespected in levels from the police, in the aspect of voting, in the aspect of politics. But these people are targeted to where you can go in the church and shoot them, and then they'll have a meeting the same week where we forgive the shooter who's white.
And that leads to my next situation. And I ain't trying to, stir up a religious situation at all, but, we've been taught as African American, growing up, at least I did, I'm going to just speak on mine. I can't speak for everybody, but I've been taught that, put God first, make sure you say your prayers, blah, 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 which I'm sure everybody who's African American or who even not have heard, these conversations from their parents before. So I've been taught that, right? Now, and I even got off into it while I went to theology college for a couple years and was actually, well before I got into the music business that I started, I was in theology college, right? So I was in it that deep where I said, okay, well, this is what my, shout out to my mom too, but this is what my mom taught me, this is what I know to do. So now that I'm older and I'm, different, I had kids and whole life that changed. I'm a celebrity recording artist now and all of this. But now I'm looking at the situation as, okay, well, where does all the stuff that my mom instilled in me, how is it taking place now besides the fact of I have morals as a person where, okay, I know what to do and not to do, what makes sense and what don't make sense, and I'm going to teach my kids that. But I haven't really taught my kids the religion side.
Same religion your mom taught.
Yeah, I haven't taught that because
Right.
I haven't taught that to my kids. I just let my kids know to understand it is a higher power.
But why don't you? Because you have an opinion that's wrong.
I have an opinion because I feel like if religion was so accurate, then why do you have people that actually it is people out here that ain't perfect, but they really live the lifestyle of trying to do the correct thing that they've been taught.
Right.
Why does stuff happen to them? Why? That ain't fair to me. I'm looking at it like now I gotta look at it because
good or bad in other countries they're not Christian.
Because I gotta look at it from both angles now because me being in that realm of being a minister and going to college for this, and now me not being in that realm and me watching people that I know personally that have really lived not a perfect life but so close to perfect. Why does bad stuff happen to them?
I want to come back on the religious thing. Before I take this caller right now, the point I'm saying is that I think African Americans don't have respect because the world, by other people, because the world sees that they don't have respect for themselves. They don't stand up for themselves. They're afraid to fight. They're afraid to take position. They're simply afraid people who's grossly talented. Call me up.
Caller, please state your name. Where you calling from?
It's your boy 7 p.m., man. I'm calling from Baltimore, Maryland, and I love this conversation.
Baltimore in the Maryland in the building, DMV. What's up with you?
How you doing, bro? Can I comment on this conversation?
Yeah, definitely.